The Tale Teller. Let me tell you a story. A storytelling podcast narrated by Glenda Villamar. Dragon in Flight by Toshiya Kamei. The tailor's thread moved in and out of the snow-white fabric, almost of its own accord. Underneath his needle, a flame-colored dragon gradually took shape. A pair of wings unfolded in slow motion. A long, scaly tail slithered like a snake. Beady eyes glowed amber. In his mind, the creature flapped its wings, soared into the clouds, and circled over a muddy river flowing into the ocean. The girl's wedding was only a few days away. It was a rush order, and the tailor put aside other tasks to finish her kimono. As the deadline fell the following morning, he toiled late into the night. His vision blurred as he stared at the flickering candle on his table. When he returned his gaze back to the garment, the embroidered dragon wiggled. A faint light sparked in its fiery eyes, or so he thought. He blinked a few times before going back to his sewing. When he finished his last stitch in the wee hours, a dull knock at the door echoed through his modest house. Who could that be at this hour? The tailor wondered aloud, with a quick glance at the wall clock. He slid the door open with a slow creak. A pale-faced girl stood before him, a serious look on her face. "Oh, Miss Sayuri, I didn't expect to see you so early." A faint smile formed on Sayuri's lips as she looked around. "How is my kimono coming along?" "It's finished, miss." "Is that so?" She tilted her head slightly. The tailor beckoned her inside, picked her folded kimono off a rush mat, and extended it before her eyes. "Congratulations, by the way. You must be happy." The girl remained silent, while the wall clock ticked out the seconds. "Thank you," she finally mumbled, as her smile faded. Before she looked down, a shadow clouded her face. "That's what everybody says. Happy. What is happiness? Do you know? To please my father? Increasing his wealth by marrying well?" "I don't know, miss. Don't tell me you're not looking forward to your own wedding." "Excuse me," Sayuri said, with a look of resignation. She stood behind a shoji screen. The candle flame danced on the table nearby, casting her oversized shadow along the wall. The rustle of her clothing falling filled the otherwise silent room. Dressed in her bridal attire, she walked toward the door. The tailor gasped, not least because the bride-to-be's beauty moved him. An otherworldly flicker ignited in the girl's eyes like a funeral pyre. "Miss Sayuri, where are you going?" he asked in a trembling voice. The girl vanished into thin air, her kimono slowly falling like a petal, tossed into the wind. Exhausted and confused, the tailor staggered outside. He walked to where the kimono fell and grabbed it. The embroidered dragon was gone, and in the sky, a life-size dragon made a few circles above a pear persimmon tree and flew toward the horizon as the sun painted the clouds crimson. Toshiya Kamei is an Asian writer who takes inspiration from fairy tales, folklore, and mythology. Their short stories have appeared in daily science fiction, Galaxy's Edge, and elsewhere. Dragon in Flight was originally published in the publication The Crypt. You can find more of their work on their website by visiting toshiyakamei.wordpress.com. Thank you for listening. We'll be back soon with a new tale to tell.